celebration and pride in one's heritage. Her success shows all girls with big dreams that they too can strive to reach their goals no matter who they are or what those goals may be. Selena, R.I.P. to a queen for real. Alright, so let's start. Oh, the first. Queen of Piano Music, Selena by Sylvia Lopez. Illustrated by Paola Escobar. Lake Jackson, Texas, 1977. The music coming through the window caught 6-year-old Selena I always struggle to say her last name, Quintanilla's attention. She bounded indoors and raced through the kitchen, startling her mother, Marcella. "Where are you going, Sally?" Marcella asked. "To sing with them, Mommy," replied Selena. "They sound good." In the living room, Big Brother A.B. strummed a guitar while 9-year-old Suzette beat rhythm on the drums. Their father, Abraham, had spent weeks teaching his older children to play their instruments. It hadn't always gone well. The kids often complained about practicing. They'd rather be out in the bright Texas sunshine. But that day, they were hitting all the right notes of Blue Moon, a tune Selena knew. Using a hairbrush as a pretend microphone, Selena burst into song. She had been singing almost since she could talk. Abraham, a musician himself in his younger days, listened more closely. His little girl had perfect pitch, and as Selena twirled and danced in step with the music, something else became clear. Selena was a performer. The Quintanillas. Years earlier, on Easter Sunday, April 16th, 1971, Marcella and Abraham Quintanilla had thought that their third child would be a boy. A mom-to-be sharing the hospital room had picked a lovely name for her own baby, certain it was a girl. In a twist of fate, that mom had a boy. At a loss for girl names, Marcella borrowed the other mom's original choice, Selena, which means moon goddess. I didn't know that. Isn't that nice? Look at the little baby and look at the moon. The little baby, the newborn baby, the pretty flowers. With a growing family, Abraham put away his music dreams and took a job with a chemical company in Lake Jackson, Texas. It was a good place to live. People of different ethnic groups got along well. Some were Hispanic or Latinos, mostly Mexican-American Tejanos like the Quintanillas. Neighbors remembered the Quintanilla children as happy and respectful. Selena seemed to have something magical. She had a smile bigger than life and a voice to match. Selena sang at family gatherings. She sang while walking to and from school. She sang to her classmates at recess. Selena was a good student who could go far, said one teacher. She could win a college scholarship. I think that's baby Selena. Right here too. Little baby Selena. Oh, this was just a kid. The one singing was baby always important to the Quintanillas. By 1980, they had formed a small band called Southern Pearl. The children practiced every day on secondhand equipment in the garage. The walls were lined with carpet pieces so rehearsal wouldn't bother the neighbors. My children are all talented, Abraham said proudly, and Selena has stage presence. He arranged the music and booked performances at parties and country fairs. Everybody helped. My mom painted empty coffee cans black to make spotlights, Selena said. In 1980, Abraham quit his job to open a Mexican-style restaurant called Papagayos. The band performed there most weekends, imitating her favorite American pop artist. 9-year-old Selena's clear, strong voice soared over the clatter of dishes. Then, in the early 1980s, the Quintanillas' life took a turn. There is Selena and her family. Times were tough in America. Jobs were hard to come by. People had less money to eat in restaurants. Papagayos closed. The small house in Lake Jackson, including the furniture, was sold to pay bills. The family moved to Corpus Christi, Texas. They rented a house in the Molina Barrio, a middle-class neighborhood where many Tejanos lived. For Selena, everything changed except making music. But now it became a way for a family to earn a living. We had no other alternative to make money, Selena said. With her as the main attraction, the band took the name Selena y los Dinos, Selena and the Boys. Selena tried to look older than her 12 years. She wore makeup and flashy homemade clothes, but only on stage. At home, she was just like any other kid, although maybe more sheltered than most, because Abraham was very strict. In any case, there was little time for socializing since Selena was often busy rehearsing or performing. Selena was hustling, okay? Touring the countryside, most gigs or bookings took place on weekends. Everyone from extra musicians to the family dog traveled in an old van together. Every time we turned, I rolled off the seat, Selena said, laughing. Money was still tight for the Quintanillas. The family traveled from town to town, either sleeping in their van or in inexpensive motels. The money earned went to buy food from roadside stands. You have to take what you can get when you're getting started, Selena said. We ate lots of hamburgers and shared everything. If only a handful of people came to watch, the band still played their best. Those people had paid, and they deserved a good show. You see the little doggy at the window. So cute. The language challenge. On the road, Abraham noticed that many people asked for Tejano music, also called Tex-Mex. Like the Tejano people, Tejano or Tex-Mex music has a character all on its own, and it is sung in Spanish, which was a problem for the Quintanilla children who were born and raised in the U.S. They understood the language but didn't speak it well. If the band was to succeed, Selena had to learn to at least sing in Spanish. I can't, puppy, she complained. I don't know what all the words mean. Abraham wrote down how the words sounded, and Selena memorized them. Soon, she was singing in Spanish with lots of feeling. y los Dinos recorded their first album with a small Texas company. Radio stations liked it and the band got new gigs, but this created another problem. Selena was only 14 years old. Traveling meant that she often missed school. The family couldn't afford to pass up any bookings, so Selena had to leave school in 8th grade. Right away, she enrolled in long-distance classes, studying while on the road. Everyone pitched in to help with lessons. That's very nice. They moved as a unit. Television success. In 1985, Selena y los Dinos was also invited to be on a Friends television show. The band's lively new Tejano rhythm and flashy outfits were a success. It brought bookings at more important events. Still, much of the money went to pay for equipment and travel. Whatever was left was divided equally. If we got $5 or $10, Selena said, we could go to Whataburger. Iconic outfits for sure. Off stage. In her spare time, Selena decorated her costumes with pearls, rhinestones, and lace. Some of the outfits showed off her figure. At first, her dad was not happy. The music of Selena y los Dinos celebrated family values. Abraham didn't approve of drinking, drugs, or bad language. He didn't want his daughter given the wrong impression. People like to see fancy costumes in the shows, Papi, Selena assured him. They know who I really am inside. Offstage, Selena led a quiet life. After performing, she stayed in the band's new bus, nicknamed Big Bertha, sewing, studying, or working on stage. She wasn't a typical teen. There were no school dances or football games. She never went out on dates. Her life was all about making music. I never had the opportunity to associate with anybody my own age, she said. Her friends were her family, band members, and people involved with their performances. A rising star's chance to shine. Selena's first big recognition came in 1986. The band was nominated for a Tejano Music Award, an important prize. Although they didn't win, Selena, age 15, won a Female Vocalist of the Year. She went on to win this and many other awards year after year. The Tejano Girl lead singer had proven everyone wrong. Her star was on the rise. Always believed that the impossible is possible became one of her favorite sayings. In 1988, Coca-Cola wanted to make a commercial featuring Latinos. An executive invited several famous performers to record, but after Selena's audition, it was decided she would do it alone. The ad recorded in English and Spanish versions, showing Selena's talent to TV audiences across America. At 17, Selena was a lovely young woman, proud of her Hispanic heritage and her appearance. She wanted other Latina girls to feel good about their looks too. Her personality also impressed those she worked with. She was wonderful to everybody. She remembered their names and went out and hugged them, an executive said. What a queen. At 17 doing all this, it's amazing. Soon after, Selena y los Dinos were offered a big recording contract. The band turned out a string of hit songs. Crowds concerts thrilled with the new techno sounds and flashing lights, but the main attraction was always Selena's huge personality. Fans called her the Queen of Tex-Mex. Selena never disappointed. Be at your best at all times was her motto. That makes me so sad. Unfortunately, we know how this ends. Chris Perez. In 1989, a young musician named Chris Perez joined Los Tinos. He and Selena fell in love. Abraham thought Selena was too young for a serious boyfriend, but for the first time in her life, Selena opposed her father's wishes. She married Chris in 1992. As time passed, Abraham realized Selena had chosen well and welcomed Chris into the family. Fans across the border. Tejano music hadn't been very popular in Mexico before Selena, but as her fame grew, fans there flocked to the band's sold-out concerts. Mexican newspapers, radio stations, and TV shows wanted to interview her. Selena had worked hard on her Spanish. It was good enough for singing, but was it good enough for interviews? In 1992, Selena arrived in Mexico to face 35 reporters, all eager to ask questions. She flashed the group a dazzling smile. She hugged each of the writers. Then she made a mistake. She giggled. "Please excuse my Spanish," she said. She was trying hard to learn the language of her songs, the language of her ancestors. The reporters appreciated Selena's honesty and effort. They found her to be a refreshing change from other stars. Selena was clearly one of their own, brown and proud, an artist of the people. One newspaper wrote, Selena was truly an international celebrity. I want to make sure you guys can see the pictures. Giving back. Selena never forgot her early struggle and those of her family. She began to reach out to the community, especially children, visiting schools to speak out against drugs and to praise the value of education. She gave money from her concerts to many charity organizations. Selena wanted to help young people achieve their dreams. She also focused on some dreams of her own. Selena loved designing clothes. Why not open a shop to sell her creations? In 1994, the first Selena store opened in Corpus Christi, followed by another in San Antonio, Texas. Both were very successful. In fact, 1994 was a year filled with successes. The song Bidi Bidi Bum Bum, which Selena helped write, became wildly popular. The catchy tune was constantly played on the radio. Then in March, her album Live was named Best Mexican American Album at the 1994 Grammy Awards. It was the first time that a Tejano woman ever achieved such a huge honor. Of course, Selena was very excited, but she was also excited to be among many big-name stars. Like any other fan, she went around snapping photos of the night's big winners, including Whitney Houston and Gloria Estefan. Singing in English. Selena had loved American pop songs as far back as her little girl days of singing Blue Moon in the living room. But for years, producers would not offer Selena y Los Dinos contracts. They thought audiences might not listen to music. It was different now. Selena already had thousands of Spanish-speaking fans. The Grammy Awards got the attention of the rest of America. Wanting to be an entertainer for all audiences, Selena began work on a crossover album. It was a bittersweet decision. Selena was now going to be a solo singer. AB, Chris, and the other band members would help create and produce the music. But from then on, it wouldn't be Selena y los Dinos anymore. By early 1995, Selena had recorded several songs in English. When the album Dreaming of You was released in July 1995, it sold 175,000 copies in a single day. A record for a female singer. Eventually, millions of copies were sold around the world. Selena's gift. People who met Selena Quintanilla described her as sincere, humble, and gracious. She stood in a class by herself. One person said, a reminder to all Tejanos, all Mexican Americans, all Latinos, that there is a beautiful culture with a beautiful language. Selena was a trailblazer. Her brilliant success opened doors for other Latino entertainers. She proved that talent and hard work could overcome obstacles and knock down barriers. She set an example for many young artists to follow. Selena's life has served as an inspiration for Latina girls. She was a symbol of the power of family, determination, and pride in one's heritage. Her life is a reminder that all girls with big dreams can strive to reach their goals no matter who they are or what those goals may be. The Queen of Tex-Mex lived her ideal of being at her best at all times and proved that the impossible is indeed possible. This is making me emotional. Okay, then it kind of just gives a breakdown of her life. It's like a timeline. Sorry, I hit the mic. 1971, born on Easter Sunday, April 16, in Lake Jackson, Texas, to Abraham and Marcella. 1980, sang with the family band Southern Pro at Abraham's restaurant, Papagayos. 1983, moved with her family to Corpus Christi, Texas, learned to sing in Spanish by sounding out the words. 1984, left middle school to tour with the band now called Selena y los Dinos, began homeschool classes. 1985, made her first recording for a local company. The band appeared on Johnny Canal's TV show. 1986, won Female Vocalist of the Year at the Tejano Music Awards. 1987, won Female Entertainer of the Year at the Tejano Music Awards. Went on to win nearly every year until 1997. 1988, recorded Coca-Cola commercial, became a spokesperson for the company. 1990, finished a long-distance courses and earned high school diploma. 1992, married Chris Perez, performed at sold-out tours in Mexico. 1994, won a Grammy Award, opened fashion boutiques called Selena in Corpus Christi and San Antonio, Texas. Began recording songs in English for a crossover album. 1995, held a sold-out concert at the Houston Astrodome, nominated for a second Grammy Award. 1995, 2 weeks before her 24th birthday, Selena lost her life during an argument with an employee, former friend, over the boutique's finances. 1995, George W. Bush, then Texas state governor, declared the is Selena Day. 1995, Selena's crossover album Dreaming of You was released. Bidi Bidi Bum Bum was chosen as Song of the Year at the Tejano Music Awards. 1997, the movie Selena starring Jennifer Lopez opened in theaters. My daughter and I watched that movie. Of course, I watched it a million times, but she literally cried. I remember watching that when I was young and would cry all the time. Alright, a little more about Tejanos. After Christopher Columbus arrived in the New World in 1492, Spain claimed much of the land and began creating settlements. Later, these settlements became independent countries. Mexico is one such country. I just lost myself. At one time, Mexico covered part of what is now the southwest United States, including Texas. Mexican citizens had many different backgrounds besides Spaniards and Native Americans. There were people from Germany, Poland, and other parts of Europe. Some moved to Texas when it was part of Mexico, bringing along their culture. They stayed in Texas when it became part of the U.S. in 1845. The descendants of those residents of the new state, like Selena's family, have been there for over 150 years. They called themselves Tejanos. Mexican Texans. Hispanics or Latinos. Tejanos are part of a larger group of Americans called Hispanics or Latinos who have Spanish-speaking ancestors. Many of these ancestors came to the United States from South America, Central America, and the Caribbean islands. Tejanos are no different from most other Latinos in the United States. They are as proud of their heritage as they are of being American. They might enjoy traditional food, sometimes called Tex-Mex, but also like hamburgers, pizza, and French fries. Selena loved double pepperoni pizza. Tejano or Tex-Mex music. Tejano music is often also called Tex-Mex. It has a very unique sound. It blends American pop and country music with the original music of the different groups that settled Mexico long ago. Before Selena y los Dinos, Tex-Mex music was not well known in other parts of the United States. It took the catchy tunes performed and recorded by Selena and the band to make more people sit up, listen, and like it. Quinceañeras. When a Latino girl turns 15, her family often holds a big party called a quinceañera to celebrate her entrance into the grown-ups community. But Selena was too busy rehearsing new songs, working on the costumes, and traveling from town to town to make time for her quinceañera. Oh, side story, I never had a quinceañera and I've always wanted one. And I really hope that my daughter wants one, because I feel like I would be living my dreams through her. I want her to want the biggest dress possible. Lake Jackson, Texas. For the Quintanilla family, Lake Jackson was a good place to live. Corpus Christi, Selena was surrounded by the warmth of her aunts, uncles, and cousins, part of her Father Abraham's extended family. This helped when she gave up regular school in order to tour with the band. Touring meant giving up other things as well, like games, friends, her own age, and holding a quinceañera. Selena behind the scenes. During Selena's early years of performing, she didn't know the meaning of all the Spanish words she sang. It was a huge job for such a young girl to sound them out, memorize, and then sing and dance to them with feeling and emotion. She practiced over and over until the Spanish sounded right. Besides all the effort she put into performing, Selena designed many of her costumes and those of the band. It was something she had always loved doing. As a little girl, she filled notebooks with ideas for doll outfits, then cut and sewed them out of fabric scraps. Purple was her favorite color, and many of the outfits she later wore on stage were purple. When not hard at work, the Quintanillas shared a lot of laughter. Selena liked to play pranks. Once, she scraped the cream off Oreo cookies and filled them with toothpaste. Abraham ate one, and said it was delicious. Sorry, I think there's someone talking on their porch. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. Okay, this is the last 2 pages. Tragedy. Yolanda Saldivar had been one of Selena's greatest fans. In 1992, when she approached the Quintanillas wanting to create Selena's first fan club, she became its president and a trusted family friend. Eventually, Selena put her in charge of the fashion boutiques. It didn't go well. The facts about what happened on the morning of March 31st, 1995 have never been completely clear. It is believed Saldivar may have taken money from the business and became angry when Selena confronted her. Yolanda Saldivar was tried, found guilty of murder, and sent to prison. Selena's death was a terrible blow to Chris Perez, as well as to her family and fans. Everyone was shocked and saddened. Cars bearing signs with saying, "We love you, Selena," lined up for more than a mile outside the home Selena and Chris had bought next to her parents in the Molina barrio. Balloons, flowers, and toy Easter bunnies covered their front fence. That is terrible. Yolanda. Remembering Selena, the Tejano world and the whole music industry lost a shining star with Selena's passing. In her short career, she achieved more than many other performers do in a lifetime. Joe Nick Potosky, who wrote her life story, said, "The debate will never cease as to what could have been." After 1995, the Tejano Music Awards continued to honor her accomplishments with a Lifetime Achievement Award and TV's Univision bestowed upon her a special Tribute Artist of the Year award. In 2010, Selena was named the female vocalist of the 1980s and 1990s. Bidi Bidi Bum Bum was also named the best Tejano song of the 1990s. Another award began in 1995 is the Billboard Latin Music Spirit of Hope Award. It was created in Selena's memory and is given to a Latino or Hispanic performer for the charitable work he or she has done beyond the world of music. Perhaps out of all the honors she received, this award would have pleased Selena the most. interested in